Come on. There we go. Good evening, everybody, and how we doing for another live Around the Ropes podcast episode right here on the new ATR network. As always, guys, you can find us on any social media site. Just search Around the Ropes podcast, you will find us. And as always, guys, my tag team partner, the sexy one himself, the great one of the greatest ring announcers in the tri-state area and in the Northeast. And also, if you live in the state of Pennsylvania and you need an ordained minister, he can help you with that as well. The one, the only sexy Ryan himself. Ryan, what's going on?
Oh, what's going on? And actually, you know what? For a hot second there, John, full screen me. I want to make something very clear right now.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much. So, obviously, if you follow all of our social media pages, you'll see, John talking the hype up and everything, hyping up the show and everything. And then our guests that are coming in saying, looking forward to being a part of it, looking forward to be a part of the interview. But they're forgetting one key factor here. They are forgetting one key factor. And that is whenever they, go public on social media, they always say the lines of, I'd like to thank John Blaine for welcoming me. But last time I checked, and I think I saw in the intro video too, it's not just John Blaine who is a host on the Around the Ropes podcast. It is hold on. Is he in here? Oh yeah, it's me. So anybody out there that is coming on, make sure to show me some love and support too. Not just John Blaine, even though I am just the team. It's not just the John Blaine Power Hour. It's the Around the Ropes podcast with John Blaine and Ryan motherfucking Peterson. Get it right, folks.
So tell us how you really feel.
And time. All right.
But how's it going?
Like I said, I want to make that very, very clear because I saw some stuff, including one of our guests this evening who decided to give you some love, but not me. So I got a few words. I got a few bones to pick with him. But then again, I'm surprised people actually know who he is, considering he's always been in a certain position with a certain someone. That's besides the point.
And folks, what Ryan is talking about, because for the first time in what seems like a long time, we actually have two phenomenal guests joining us tonight.
Debatable.
At 8:30, ahead of his big match happening this weekend at Titan Championship Wrestling's American Spirit with the one and only Jay Outkast, PJ Savage finally makes his debut on the podcast.
If you don't know who PJ Savage is, that's the guy who constantly yells out his name because I think sometimes he forgets who he is.
Then at 9:30, you know him as intern Jerry, Jay Outkast, however you know him. He'll be joining us as well ahead of his highly contested match where he takes on Kris Kage, both happening this Saturday at Titan Championship Wrestling. Plus, also at the end of the show, I'm going to put this out there right now, at the end of the program, we will not only have one, but we'll have two announcements. And no, folks, we're not going to be wearing ridiculous cowboy hats like Tony Khan did.
It's a Calgary thing. That's not ridiculous, all right? That's respectful.
But yeah, so let's get right into it now, because we're coming off the heels of Slammiversary for Impact Wrestling, as Ryan is wearing the Impact Wrestling shirt right now.
You're damn right I am.
Now, before we get into some of the key moments, which are a lot of big returns and quite a few title changes.
Almost all of them.
For the most part. Looking at it from the whole, what are your thoughts on the whole pay-per-view as a whole before we go?
From what I saw, it was pretty solid. And that's the one thing about Impact. They always know how to deliver.
Yeah.
Because you know why? Because there's no 75-year-old pervert who wears a Gomez mustache running the show.
Yeah.
Call it a spade here, folks. If you don't like it, oh well. If you don't like the truth that comes out of my mouth, then well, obviously go back to your little bubble in your basements where mommy and daddy continue to wipe your ass, even though you're in your mid to late 40s.
I was gonna say I'm doing the show from my basement.
You have an excuse. You're not in your mid to late 40s.
Not yet.
But you get my point.
Yeah, I get your point.
Okay, good.
I thought overall I loved the pay-per-view. And I've always been a fan of Impact Wrestling. I always feel like Impact Wrestling, to me, is just one of those companies that are not seen by a lot of people because they're not on a major network.
No. They used to be, but then I think the channel disappeared.
Yeah, because I know for a while but you also remember we were talking about the same company for how many years was it where they were jumping from channel to channel to channel to channel?
Well, I remember in the beginning they did the weekly pay-per-views for $5 a week, for $5 every week or something like that.
Yeah,
and then they went over
when they first started.
Then they went over to Spike TV for 7 years and whatnot.
That's where most people remember them from.
Actually, no, I'm sorry, it was longer than 7 years at that point.
How do you figure?
It was from 10 years. They were on there for 10 years.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense because that was the Bischoff days, the Hulk Hogan days.
Aces and Eights.
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, that's also where we got Joker Sting was in that era.
Yep. And then end of 2014, that's when they decided to leave Spike TV and go to some channel that 99% of people did not have called Destination America.
But you know what's funny? That's when I started watching Impact Wrestling a lot.
And then Pop TV. Remember that one?
Oh, God. But going back to the Destination America thing for a hot second, I remember when they were on, because I remember they were doing the series, because at that point also was when they were doing, they would do the monthly tape-ins. And one.
I know because I was at the inaugural one for that channel when it was at Manhattan Center.
Well, that's the one I remember because I remember the biggest memory I remember from when I first started watching was the end of Dixie Carter's run, where she was doing that whole evil tyrant crap.
Yep.
And I remember the pop at the Manhattan Center when Bully Ray put her through the table.
That was still the Spike TV era, by the way.
I thought that was Destination America.
That was 2015.
Oh, okay.
Because I remember that because it was I remember it very well. It was beginning of January 2015. Mm-hmm. Me, myself, and a friend of mine actually, we got tickets to go see Impact at the Manhattan Center. That's when they did the first live broadcast.
Okay.
Because that was also the same. Because that was when they did 3 straight days of tapings.
Oh yeah. Oh
the
God.
The first one was live, along with the Impact before the Impact and whatnot. The second day was tapings, and then the last day was when they did Lockdown. The third day is when they did Lockdown.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that was when Bobby Lashley won the one. Oh, that was when the beat. Oh God, no.
Oh, the Beatdown Clan.
Beatdown Clan. That's when they debuted.
Wasn't that when Drew came back?
No, yeah. Drew came back when they went to Scotland. When they went to Scotland, later on in the month. But that was when Bobby Roode was still the champion.
Oh God, yeah, I remember that.
I remember that first episode when they went live. It was Bobby Lashley who won the title, all thanks to MVP, Kenny King, Low-Ki, and Samoa Joe.
Yeah, but I remember when they had put the belt on Eric Young.
That was 2014.
Because I remember the whole joke everybody was saying is, "Oh, look, they're trying to copy WWE."
Yep.
Because at that point, Eric Young still had the gigantic beard.
Yep, and he was like the massive baby face.
And it was right around WrestleMania 30.
Like I said, 2014.
Yeah.
If you listen to me.
Yes, I listen.
Sometimes.
But what I laughed though, and like I said, I've always been a fan of Impact Wrestling, and I've always felt like they've gotten the short end of the stick because of the fact that nobody gets a chance to watch them. But I mean, I said it a while ago when Bully Ray came back, when he made his return at Oh, was it Bound for Glory last year?
I think so.
Yeah, because that was up in Albany.
Yeah.
Because I remember we were on right after, and Billy hopped on for that one.
Yes.
Because that was the same weekend as Extreme Rules. Was that same weekend? Because then that's where that guy Husky I Met Bray Wyatt returned.
Yeah.
And I said it back then. I thought Bully Ray coming back, that whole storyline with him and Tommy, and eventually led to him versus Scott D'Amore, was to me one of the selling points right now with Impact Wrestling.
Speaking of that, let's quickly talk about that matchup.
Oh, well, let's talk about the man who returned to help Scott.
For those that weren't paying attention, originally it was supposed to be
PCO.
John, you tell the story. I gotta take care of something quickly. I'll be right back, folks.
Okay. So, guys, it was PCO. It was supposed to be a tag team match with, originally it was supposed to be Bully Ray and Steve Macklin taking on the team of PCO and Scott D'Amore. All of a sudden, it was reported, probably 2 weeks ago, that Macklin was injured, so he was going to get pulled out. So they announced it on Busted Open that following Monday. Yeah, that following Monday, that it was going to be Cody Deaner. Then it was announced that on the other end, it was announced that PCO was not able to participate. So in turn, they ended up pulling a fast one. And we had a returning Eric Young, who it was reported a couple of days prior to Slammiversary that he had asked for his release from WWE because basically due to creative differences. And because he didn't, in layman's terms, he didn't want to work with Vince. So we had Eric Young and Scott D'Amore taking on Bully and Cody. Honestly, I had no issues with the match. I thought the fact that
not to correct you, Eric Young didn't ask his release a few days prior. He didn't.
Well, no. What I was trying to get at is he asked his release in April. They reported it.
Yeah.
A couple days ago.
Yeah, they kept it under wraps, which is actually pretty smart.
Well, I also laughed though when they announced that he had asked for his release. I think a lot of people in the IWC basically looked around and they're like, "Wait, he was with WWE." Nobody realized he was with WWE.
No,
because I think realistically, and I think a lot of it has to do with the whole thing with Bray Wyatt. Because I think EY was going to be doing something.
So from what I heard, he was actually supposed to be one of the animals from the Firefly Funhouse.
Wasn't it supposed to be him and Mike Bennett, from what I remember hearing?
It was supposed to be him, Bennett, and I think Grayson Waller was one of them too.
And I remember also at one point they were saying Joe Gacy.
Which honestly, those four, that sounds pretty solid to me.
Well, honestly, at this point, I think Joe Gacy should get called up to the main roster. Him in NXT is absolutely pointless at this point.
Well, then again, the way NXT is running, sometimes it's a little bit pointless. The fact that they're calling in, people from the main roster to come down and boost ratings, come on. That means your developmental sucks.
Yeah, but I've also said, and I've said that even when they first brought NXT over to USA Network. When originally they were on the network originally, and then they brought it over to because they weren't competing with Dynamite.
I think also what kind of killed it, in my opinion, was when I think it was last year when Vince took over.
Oh yeah, because they made it the NXT
when Vince and Bruce Pritchard took over.
Yeah, because they basically made it more of a what they wanted to look like, and not what Hunter made it.
In other words, they wanted to go back in time to the 80s where no one really gave a shit.
Exactly. They made NXT. I mean, NXT now is a little bit of a joke, but not. Ooh, excuse me. But not as bad of a joke as it was beforehand. But so yeah, so what did you think of the tag team match with Bully and Cody versus Scott and EY?
Obviously, I thought I was entertaining. Scott D'Amore can still fucking go.
Yeah, that doesn't shock me though, because doesn't seem like he's that young he's not old of a person.
He also has a training school, so
yeah, but also realistically, how many years was it ago that he wrestled before Slammiversary?
At least 10 years.
So you don't know if he may have been doing some training, at his own ring. Because isn't he, last I heard, isn't he dating
Giselle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't know if he may have taken a few bumps in the ring and said, you know what, I still got this, let's go.
Again, he has a training school with Josh Alexander.
Which, speaking about the devil, why don't we get into that one?
So the main event with Nick Aldis and Alex Shelley, which reports came out that Nick Aldis's run in Impact is done. Because they were building a story.
Mm-hmm.
Which, obviously stories have a beginning, middle, and end. And this was the end.
I didn't know that's how stories worked.
Well, if WWE actually watches, wrestling, they can actually end the story, not continue it. But after the match, all of a sudden a certain Canadian came out that we haven't seen on TV in a while, and that is the Walking Weapon, Josh Alexander.
I'm very happy to see that he's back. I think you have him and Shelley go at it. I think you easily push that to Bound for Glory. That's your bit. To me, that's your main event for Bound for Glory right there.
I don't know if Alexander's back.
But I think by that point, we're talking Bound for Glory is in the middle of October.
Yeah, but how long ago was his injury though?
Hard to Kill, I think was when he. It was whatever the same time.
He was given at least a year.
It was whatever the same time Nikki had to relinquish her title.
Yeah, it was Hard to Kill.
Yeah. But again, when they say a wrestler's out for a year, I don't buy that half the time. How many times have we seen a wrestler get told, oh, yeah, you have, okay, great example. Look at somebody like Edge.
Yeah.
Who got told, 10 years ago, oh, you're never going to be able to wrestle again?
And lo and behold, you think you know me, and the fucking roof shattered.
Not even that. Look at somebody like Bryan Danielson. Look at somebody like Saraya. Saraya, sorry.
God, dude, and you're a wrestling podcaster. You can't get the fucking names right.
I still call her Paige. Let's call a spade a spade. But my point is this: when they say, "Oh, wrestlers out for a year," I never buy that. Great example. I know it's a different guy, but it's the same thing. Look at John Cena going into the Rumble 08, I think it was.
Well, I mean, I have my theories about that one.
Well, yeah, he may have gotten some help.
I wouldn't say help. I think more the fact that he probably. I'm some people in the IWC though, from what I'm hearing. Some people are saying that was all a cop out.
Oh, that wouldn't shock me.
Because he felt like he didn't want to drop the title to Orton.
That doesn't shock me. That doesn't surprise me at all.
It's kind of coincidental that he was gone for 3 months and he was only given 9 to 12.
But that my point is this.
I don't know. It just seems a little tricky to me. I don't know.
My point is this: you look at anything with any of the wrestling companies, even on the indies. Whenever they say, oh, so and so is going to be out for this amount of time, and then they're back 6 months later.
I'm trying to think what else happened. We got new tag champs, both men and women.
Which for the men's, I want to get to that quickly. That one kind of surprised me a little bit.
Yeah.
And I say that I'm not taking anything away against Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews. I think they're two very talented guys who unfortunately got screwed when NXT UK went bye-bye. But when you look at that Fatal 4-Way, which was Ace Austin and Chris Bay, or as they call themselves, the ABC.
Mm-hmm.
You had the team of Moose and Brian Myers. And you had the team of Rich Swann and Sami Callihan. Yes, granted, did I think Swann and Callahan and Moose and Myers were going to get the title? No, absolutely not. But I thought, honestly, the one that Bay and Austin were having, I thought they were going to keep those belts for a while and then eventually set up something down the road where we would have gotten them versus the Rascals. I would have been okay with that.
But it didn't expect Subculture to win.
I don't think they're gonna. You and I were talking about this afterwards. I don't think they're gonna give them a long run.
No, I think they're gonna give them until Bound for Glory.
Which I still think it's good. The next team that's going to go for those titles, realistically,
Rascals.
I think they're going to really push for them to get those belts.
And then shout out to Killer Kelly and Masha Slamovich for becoming the new Knockouts World Tag Team Champions.
Yep, they defeated the team of Taylor Wilde and Killing King, I think her name is
Highland King.
Again,
and speaking of the Knockouts, there's a new Knockouts champion, and me personally, I'm not happy about it.
Honestly, I don't mind it. I
mean, a friend of mine, when I was watching the pay-per-view with a couple of friends of mine, and one of my friends said, well, I guess the only way to get handed things, on a silver platter is if you bitch and moan, and you leave the company and you bang a Samoan.
Yeah, but I look at it this way. I think Deonna losing the belt doesn't hurt her. She's still somebody who has enough Teflon. I think that was her third run with that belt, if I remember correctly.
I think so.
Realistically, like I said, it's her third time holding that belt. I doubt it's going to be, also, oh my God, her career goes downhill. And also, and I was saying this to you afterwards, I think the fact that you have Trinity now holding that belt means you can actually have fresh matches now. Because for a while that I felt like, especially with the Knockouts title, I felt like it was how many times can they relive Jordynne Grace and Deonna Purrazzo?
Because at the same time, I don't think there were that many Knockouts.
But now, because you got Trinity, now you can go a totally different route. You can go women like Rosemary. You can go Savannah Evans. I'm trying to think of who else.
Giselle.
Yeah, Giselle. Hey, if you want to pull a shocker, didn't we see another return on Impact at a Slammiversary of the first Knockout?
Yeah, Tracy Brooks.
Why not give her a shot at the belt?
I feel like they're doing something bigger with her though.
I agree with you 100%. I'm just saying, why not give her a shot at the belt? I look this way, and this is the one thing I notice with a lot of companies, and it's not just Impact, because WWE does it, AEW does it, is when they get two people who have great chemistry. Don't get me wrong, I think Deonna and Jordynne have great chemistry together. They try to beat a dead horse. And what I mean by that is this. They try to redo the exact same match 900 freaking times. And to me, it's like there's no point to that. But so you got that. I'm trying to think of anything else big that happened. Obviously, we have a new X Division winner in Leo Rush.
Yeah, and Kushida won the Ultimate X.
Which, honestly, Kushida and Leo Rush, let's go.
Well, considering what they announced that for when they come to Philly.
Yeah, the Fatal 4-Way.
It's not a Fatal 4-Way. It's a tag match.
Oh shit! Okay.
It was Leo Rush and Trey Miguel against Speedball Mike Bailey and some guy named Takahashi.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a good match.
And then the following week in Toronto, again with the goddamn Canadians, for Emergence. It's the Impact Wrestling return and current IWGP World Champion Sonata.
Yeah, people forget Sonata was with Impact years ago.
I do apologize for what I'm about to say, but I'm going to announce it just like they do in Japanese style wrestling. Kaito Muta!
Probably one of the greatest Japanese wrestlers of all time.
Next to Jushin Thunder Liger, just saying.
Who, by the way, I'm just going to say it right now, Jushin Thunder Liger, he's not a Power Ranger, as some people think he is. If you know, you know.
Uh-huh. But overall, Impact Wrestling, they always deliver. And if you're in the White Plains area, they're coming to the Westchester County Center, which I think is actually one of the first events. One of the second events to run in that building next to WWE that just happened recently.
Yeah.
With back-to-back nights on Friday, September the 8th, they are presenting Turning Point.
No, Victory Road. I thought.
Oh, Victory Road. Sorry, I don't know what the fucking names are anymore. Victory Road, and then on the 9th, it's another set of TV tapings. However, it's a historic TV taping because on that night it is Impact 1000.
I'll be the first one to eat crow right now. I was one of the people who thought they were going to be out of business 5 years ago.
I think a lot of people were, including myself, thanks to Billy Corgan.
Yeah. No, with me, it was more Dixie.
No, Billy Corgan was the one that kind of killed it.
Yeah, but I think, honestly, now with Scott D'Amore and company running it now, I give them a lot.
Oh, 2018 was their massive resurgence.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but as far as with Impact, I'm just going to say this right now. I wish we get the ability to talk more about Impact on this show. But 9 times out of 10, I don't really get a chance to watch them outside of the big pay-per-views.
I know.
Oh, actually, I'll let me stand corrected. I can watch their clips on social media.
Do we have any comments coming in?
Yes, we do actually.
Well, let's go through the comments quickly then, since we're done talking about Impact.
Our good friend Billy chimes in.
Oh, hello, Billy. Next.
Wow. But yeah, that was the only one we have so far.
Ah, okay.
But we will be joined by our first guest momentarily.
Hopefully
he doesn't fall asleep again.
What's up? What?
So I have a question. If he doesn't fall asleep again, can we say he didn't pull a Mike Francesa?
Jesus Christ.
If you're a New York sports fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
But anyway, switching gears now from Impact Wrestling, let's quickly talk about the WWE for a hot second.
Only thing I want to talk about is that we have new women tag champs.
Oh yes.
And the team of Chelsea. And actually, you know what? You're the ring announcer. I'll let you announce it.
Oh, I'm gonna try and imitate Samantha Irvine doing this.
You want to go full screen on this?
No, because I want to see your reaction.
Mm-hmm.
They are the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, the team of Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green.
Don't ever do that again. Don't ever do that again. But yes, they are your new tag team champions. Personally, I like it. Yeah, I love it. I think it's the perfect move. I think it is. I've said it for a while that I think they should abolish the tag belts because they've done absolutely nothing with them. But with that being said, I'm holding out a little bit of hope here that with Green and Deville, now they can actually do something. Because I said this to you before we went live. I think the perfect feud for them is have them feud with
Chance and Carter.
Yeah, I think that's your perfect.
Now let me ask you this.
What's up?
I don't know if you caught a little bit of Raw last night.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, we have a few confirmed matches for SummerSlam.
Yep.
Which one of them I'm calling it right now? Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Can that shit be in a pit fight?
Oh, I hope so. I really hope so.
Bring that back, please. But based off of the audience reaction, do you think Atlanta deserves to have a WrestleMania again?
Yes.
After the massive pop that mostly everybody got last night.
Oh yeah, Atlanta, and I always feel like Atlanta is one of those towns that has that dark cloud over them after what we saw at WrestleMania 27.
Oh God.
But I look at it this way. Now that you got Hunter running things, I think that. But I'm also the same person who thinks London deserves a freaking WrestleMania at this point.
I've been saying that for years. What the fuck are they waiting for?
For Vince to go?
It's called a retirement home. Just lock him up in there, for fuck's sake.
Well, I think, from what I heard, next year, obviously next year is in Philly. That's been well known.
Which, by the way, they announced packages and whatnot.
Oh, yeah, those are expensive.
Dude! One package alone was fucking $10,000.
Brian, don't you have some poll you can get a discount on that?
Fuck that shit!
I think from what I heard, 41 is, Minnesota, from what I remember hearing.
I don't think they announced 41 yet.
But I think that's where they're looking. I think they're the ones who put a bid in.
I know they announced 42.
42, no, is it 42 or 43 that's Nashville?
I think 42, because I think that stadium's just opening it up that year.
Yeah, that's 27, I think.
Which, by the way, that stadium is fucking gorgeous from what I've been seeing.
Oh, yeah. But honestly, I don't know why they don't do it sooner. I really don't.
But I'm hearing an outdoor stadium is putting a bid in for the Royal Rumble.
Florida. I'm just standing up for a second just because my legs are tired.
There. Camping World Stadium, where they had WrestleMania 24 and 33.
Didn't they also have the Rumble? Not the Rumble. Yeah, WrestleMania 33. That's what I remember it as.
What?
I thought it was a different event. I'm sorry.
The one that had the massive roller coaster.
Yeah, 33.
I know. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah. But no, I'm gonna actually find out.
Folks, this is the PSA. Clean out your ears. You'll actually hear. A message from Q-Tips.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
But I love, and obviously we're getting Brock and Cody 3.
Do you think they're gonna add a stipulation to that?
I think so. If that's the case, I have a perfect stipulation.
Okay.
Last man standing.
Can this be like the end of it finally?
I think so. Obviously we're getting. Oh, one other thing I do want to talk about WWE wise.
Uh-huh.
Paul fucking Heyman.
Oh yeah, the cell job he had. Oh yeah.
Not only that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Jim, it's me, your favorite Juso. I'm like, oh my god.
So anybody who's watching it, I am now referring to myself as a Juso.
I was freaking hell. I was dying when I heard that. I'm like, wow. Also, I kind of, speaking of WWE, I feel bad for Bayley.
Yeah, she got wasn't that a house show supposedly
On Sunday?
Yeah, but I read somewhere that supposedly she is able to walk on her own. I don't think she's gonna be back in full ring shape so quick.
No,
because they were in where were they? Salisbury.
Yeah, they were in Maryland.
Which actually it was interesting because somebody asked Seth that I think that's Seth's first time in that building or in that area since Briscoe died.
Yeah,
and you know how big of a thing he had. But we are awaiting our guest. Hopefully he will join us.
Well, while we're waiting for, Sleeping Beauty to join us, let's quickly talk about AEW.
Yes, we'll definitely hop into that. The only other thing I just want to get to with WWE is I did read supposedly there is another match that they are setting for SummerSlam.
Which is?
Logan Paul and Ricochet.
Yeah.
But I also did hear that supposedly that match is going to actually open the show.
I would be okay with it, honestly.
For one reason. Because apparently Jake has a boxing thing that night.
Oh God.
So they want to let Logan have his match and then get a direct flight over to where Jake is going to be.
And where the fuck is that?
somewhere in the other 49 states of the United States? You asked the question. I gave you the answer.
You're supposed to be a journalist and you don't know this shit? Wow,
I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
Obviously not a good one because, first of all, you're fucking up some of the wrestling names.
Yeah.
Anyway, AEW.
Yes, Blood and Guts happening on tomorrow.
Well, no. Back it up a little bit. Back it up a little bit.
Oh, yes. I want to get your thoughts on this, and whoever's watching, I want to get your thoughts as well. How are you liking this whole MJF Adam Cole tag team right now?
I wasn't referring to that, but first of all, I fucking love it. I was like, where are they going with this? But then all of a sudden, I love the chemistry that supposedly those two have for each other. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I love seeing the videos on YouTube and social media about it. It's some of the funniest stuff, and their timing together.
I love MJF. When he first of all when he comes out, and then he does the NWO shit, brings out Adam Cole. He's sitting there doing the boom. I'm like, oh my god. And then when he gets to the ring, he's running around Adam Cole, and Adam Cole's like, what the fuck are you doing?
I love it. I think the two of them have great chemistry, and I think they're supposed to have they're in the finals tomorrow.
Yep, the finals are tomorrow, and the winners of that goes on to Collision at Hartford, I think the following week.
Yeah, following week.
The following week, and face off against FTR, which that I want to get into.
I knew it.
Because that's what I was going with originally.
Okay.
Well, first of all, how do you feel about Collision so far?
In certain moments, it's good. I said it when they first announced the show that I know everybody's so big on the ratings. What do you expect when you have a show on a Saturday night, especially you're in the heart of the summer right now? Most people are either out, on a date or something else on a Saturday, or they're at an independent wrestling show,
or a concert, or out to dinner, or hanging out, or socializing.
Yeah, I look this way. Had they started Collision in the fall, once it got colder outside, I think then people wouldn't be so gung-ho about the ratings.
But I think the problem is the NBA somehow takes precedence. I don't know why.
Well, because they're under the same umbrella. That's why.
But still, I don't know why the NBA takes precedence, especially this early in the season.
Because the NBA doesn't matter what time of the season you're talking about. It's a money grab for them. Let's call it what it is. You think I'm kidding? The NBA brings in millions upon millions of dollars for TNT.
Well, yeah, because they charge an astronomical amount of money for tickets. Dolan.
My point is this: if you look at it, okay, then why is it that on SmackDown next week? Why is it that on SmackDown this week it's going to be on FS1?
Because of the World Cup.
But why should that?
A sporting event that actually matters.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, not that many people care about the NBA anymore. I'm being straightforward. Nobody that I've spoken to, they don't give a shit about the NBA as much anymore. But anyway, that freaking tag team match. Yeah. I feel like I need a cigarette after watching it.
Oh yeah. That was that, as Uncle Dave said it perfectly. That was arguably the greatest tag team match to ever happen on TV.
I don't give a shit what Uncle Dave says, because obviously he thinks he knows it all, but really he doesn't. But his match was fucking phenomenal.
Oh yeah, but I've also noticed though with FTR, this is the third time now they've had a 2 out of 3 falls match that has been storytelling at its finest.
Oh, and also a little bit of breaking news later on tonight. I will be making a little bit of an announcement.
Oh,
in regards to a wrestling event that I will be announcing in a couple of weeks, but that'll be later on.
Oh, okay. So, folks, we're gonna have a new segment on the show called Announcement Time.
Yeah.
But I absolutely loved it. I loved that. And yeah, like I said, this is the third time because you gotta go back to FTR versus DIY at NXT TakeOver Toronto. And then you gotta look at the one we just saw recently with them and the Briscoes.
Ooh. Okay. Now I understand fully, and I actually fully agree why SmackDown was on FS1 on Friday.
Isn't the World Cup?
Yeah. It's us.
That would explain.
It's us against Vietnam in Group E. It's our first match in the World Cup.
Oh, okay.
And I'm hoping for a three-peat.
Unfortunately, I don't follow soccer, so I wouldn't.
Well, when it comes to the men's and women's U.S. soccer teams, the women actually get the job done and win the gold. The men just choke.
Isn't that what men usually do? But moving on.
Certain men, maybe our second guest tonight. I don't know.
Moving on.
But no, that tag match. Again, I need a cigarette after that match.
Well, actually, I want to ask you this question, and I think Billy, if you're watching, you can answer this as well, or whoever's watching can definitely chime in on this. I mentioned before, FTR's had 2 out of 3 falls matches. DIY, the Briscoes, and what we saw Saturday with Bullet Club Gold. In your opinion, what is the best 2 out of 3 falls match that FTR has had?
Oh, fuck.
And those are the 3 that I just rattled off. The
Briscoes. I know it was Takeover Toronto. This past one. What was the second one again?
Briscoes, the dog collar match.
Oh, fuck. That's a tough one because all 3 of them were solid. Because first of all, NXT TakeOver Toronto, them versus DIY, kind of really solidified tag team wrestling in WWE.
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah, good. Just read when you get a chance. Read the private chat.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah.
But that's an interesting question to have though. Is which is the best FTR 2 out of 3 falls match?
So, as I was describing,
the
NXT TakeOver Toronto match, I think that match kind of solidified, showcased what tag team wrestling should be like.
Yes,
especially on a major scale as WWE. Because if you notice, right after that, some team called the Usos and the New Day had a phenomenal run. Like 6 months later.
Yeah, and theirs ended up being capped off by the Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, the first ever tag team Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, but no.
What?
No, but I was going to say though, there's one for me, and it's a very obvious choice. Which one I go with?
Can I give my 3?
Go ahead.
So obviously the bottom of the 3. I hate to say this. It is DIY and them versus them at TakeOver Toronto.
Yeah.
Second, by a narrow margin, the 2 out of 3 falls match from this past Saturday. And the number 1 was them and the Briscoes.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that one. I think the story, especially with them and the Briscoes and that dog collar match.
Because also, I think that was Jay Briscoe's last match.
Yeah.
Which made it even more memorable.
But what I also loved with this match that we saw on Saturday with FTR and Bullet Club Gold was after the match, and they're going to shake the hands of Jay White and Juice Robinson, and Jay White goes to spit at them.
It's all about maintaining your stigma.
No, and I like it. Also, as far as with the Collision, we saw the Acclaimed on there.
I didn't get to that far.
I'm just gonna say this right now: the Acclaimed are not barbers.
Oh God!
There's a reason why I say that.
Why?
Because I was watching it with my dad Saturday, and all of a sudden the Acclaim come out, and obviously people know their thing of they do the scissor thing, and my dad, yeah, that. And my dad was sitting there, and he goes, oh, why do they do it? He goes, are they barbers originally? I was trying so hard at that moment to sit there and go, sure, we'll go with that.
Folks, that's what happens when you haven't left the house in 10 years.
But it was announced, though, that we are going to get a trios match next week on Collision from the lovely state of New Jersey. Yeah.
Yes.
As it will be the Acclaimed with Daddy S taking on the team of Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews. I forgot what their team name is now.
The House of Black.
Oh yeah, I thought they had a different name now.
No, is it? They changed the name?
I think I heard something that they changed their name.
I thought it was the House of Black.
Can we get somebody to double check? Because apparently I had like a major brain fart.
Okay. And also, we had the finals of the women's and the men's Owen Hub Cup tournament. The women's one, I am very surprised in a good way by who they went with in Willow Nightingale.
Yes.
The men's, in the main event, it was everyone's favorite wrestler, including John's, CM Punk, as he took on Ricky Starks. And Ricky Starks was victorious. And he won the same way that Owen Hart would win a match too, by doing a schoolboy pin while holding the rope and the referee not seeing, of course.
Yes.
But something very interesting happened, though. Because all of a sudden you see CM Punk, going, huh? What? In other words, wait, I lost another UFC match? What happened? No, Ricky Starks is running up the ramp. Who's there presenting the trophy but Jushin Thunder Liger, a Japanese legend, and Ricky Starks just snatches it from his hand and goes, thank you very much, and Liger's like, wait, I'm trying to shake the hand, and he's like, thank you, good night. I'm like, did he just pull his inner Tony Khan, thank you, good night, and left?
Hey, I wish I got that payday that Jushin Thunder got.
What's up?
I wish Jushin Thunder Liger probably got a nice penny to appear on TV for all of 10 seconds.
Pretty much.
I wish I had that moment.
Yeah. Also, can we cut the Battle of the Belts bullshit?
Why? I love seeing. Well, yeah. Was that? I'm trying to remember now, because I remember there was. Yeah, it was on that one when the feed cut out.
Yeah, ironically during a Tony Storm match. Apparently Tony Storm's Tiger Bomb was so powerful it cut the feed.
And it's funny because I feel sorry out of any of the people on that. I feel sorry for Lance Archer.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for there's two guys I feel sorry for in AEW, and then we'll get into Blood and Guts in a second. Lance Archer and Brian Cage.
Beefy boys.
Well, I say that for one reason. You got two guys who are big dudes who should be, not even saying, they have to be in your main event scene, but I feel like they're both being treated like they're a joke.
Sorry, I was checking something. John, keep talking. I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, while Ryan goes to figure that out, let me just get him off the screen here for a second. But yeah, guys, by the way, if you have any questions, definitely leave them in the comments below. We'll definitely read them. But my thing with Brian Cage and Archer is this. You got these two guys who are monsters who, if booked correctly, should be machines. And I feel like both of them are getting treated like they're like afterthoughts almost. And I feel like when you look at both of them, especially somebody like Brian Cage, who I think personally should be a world champion at this point, and the fact that he is, I think, is an absolute travesty. But you look at, somebody like him and somebody like Lance, both of these guys should, okay, maybe not world champions, but at least hold some title. Because I don't think, obviously Brian right now holds the, it is part of the 6-man champions with the Gates of Agony over in Ring of Honor. So he does have a belt in that area. But he's somebody who I feel like should hold a singles title. Either it be the international title or even the world title. Which now leads me to the question I was going to ask Ryan, since now Ryan is back.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, can I do that announcement now?
Yeah, sure.
Full screen on this one for me.
Okay, what the hell just happened?
Okay, so obviously, as some of you may know, or all of you know, I announced for numerous wrestling promotions up and down the East Coast, and one of the companies that I work for is Invictus Pro Wrestling. Now, on Friday, August the 4th, we are in the Boogie Down Bronx, New York, and we outside for that event. I just got word from the promoter himself to make this announcement on who was going to be appearing on that night.
Okay.
And John, you better have your popcorn ready for this one.
Okay.
He's from a little-known company called New Japan Pro Wrestling. Actually, you know what? Side by side, I want to see your face.
Hold on, I just have a question before you make this announcement. You mean Alex did not announce this yet on the...
I don't know if he did, but anyway, from New Japan Pro Wrestling. He is a former All Japan Pro Wrestling World Junior Heavyweight Champion and a former 2-time IWGP Junior Tag Team Champion from a little-known faction called the United Empire, Francesco Akira.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Ho, ho, ho.
Wow. That's really impressive.
Oh, yes, it is.
Now I'm going over to the Invictus page to see if they actually posted it yet. Oh, yeah. It was posted.
But you did not see it yet.
No, I just saw it now. And I will throw the graphic up quickly. You're welcome, Alex.
There it is, right there, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, now I'm starting. But wow, that's quite impressive.
Uh-huh.
That is very impressive. That's happened on August 4th. And what was the show called again, Ryan?
We Outside.
Are you sure?
Shut up. Hey, at least I can say Kylan King, right?
Oh, wait, now you can start. Some people have a speech problem. What do you want?
And some people claim to be wrestling fans, but really don't know every wrestler's name.
Moving on.
That's his language of saying, Ryan, you were right. I was wrong, as always.
But you know what? Since we're doing announcements right now, we'll do the other announcement now, too. Give me a second.
While you're doing that, I got another announcement to make.
Okay.
You already know this already, but the fans don't know. A week later, after the Boogie Down Bronx show with Invictus, I will be returning to another promotion in beautiful upstate New York for a little-known company called Immortal Championship Wrestling. And the reason why they're calling in the big guns is because on that night, It is their live pay-per-view debut, which, by the way, will be streamed live, not on IWTV, not on Title Match, and not on Fight TV, but it will be streamed live on the Premier Streaming Network.
Okay, you want to just make this whole thing the announcement time then?
Fuck yeah. I'm not done yet.
Oh,
On that night, yeah, John, it's my turn to shine. Because it's not John Blaine and the team. It's John Blaine and Ryan motherfucking Peterson, so get it right. Now, oh shit, I didn't expect full screen. Now, on that night, we got massive matches in store, including the newly crowned Immortal Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Champion and John's least favorite wrestler, Garrett Holiday, taking on Ring of Honor legend himself, Cheeseburger, for the Immortal Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. Also, Vince Valor will be defending his, oh crap, what the name was that title again?
The Northeast title.
Thank you. And remind myself and the folks who he'll be facing that night.
That will be let me double check on that. I drew a blank right now. I apologize. Give me 1 second, folks.
Can you get me off the full screen, please?
Hold on. Give me a second. God, this really shows how prepared we are. Frick. Yeah, hold on 1 second.
I remember seeing it too.
Yeah, me and I shared it on Facebook. Vince Valor. Oh, George Joel.
Thank you. I'm like, what the fuck is his name? Oh yeah, George Joel. You may have seen him in AEW as part of that weird faction I think you had with the wannabe gangster rappers and Jack Evans and whatnot.
He was not in the one with Jack Evans.
Whatever. He was in there for a
cup
cup
of
of
Ring of
coffee.
Honor.
He was more AEW.
But when AEW bought Ring of Honor, he was used more in Ring of Honor.
Oh, you can tell how much I really paid attention to that. Oh yeah, also some big loudmouth Jerseyite will be there, known as Enzo.
I was gonna say I have the rest of the card up here if you want me to go through it quickly.
Sure. Why not?
Of the confirmed matches, obviously we mentioned before, the two that we mentioned before, as Vince Valor will be defending his ICW Northeast title against George Joel from AEW. Garrett Holiday will be defending his title against Cheeseburger. Also in action that night will be your tag team champions, Ryan's favorite tag team, the Sons of Allah, as Blaze and Ben Hameen defend their tag titles. Also in action, we will see Dirty Dangle making his ICW return as he takes on Shane Stenson. Yes, I said it right this time. Shane, not Steven. Shane. Obviously, you mentioned the real one will be in action. Well, he'll be there. I don't know if he's going to be in action. Kayla Sparks will also be there as well. My hunch is probably going up against Becca for the women's title.
I forgot to mention the headliner.
Oh, yeah.
The special guest general manager of the event.
Yep.
If you don't know who this is, it's called YouTube. Obviously, watch it after us. But this gentleman has been in the WWE for a long, long, long time. I think going on at least 3 decades.
Yes.
He is a Hall of Famer. And his biggest fetishes, in my opinion, yes, I said fetishes because he constantly said it, was either put people in tag team matches or have them go one-on-one with The Undertaker. And that is the man who likes to holla, 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 Teddy Long.
I have a question. Are you gonna do the thing with him?
I will be researching on YouTube how to properly do that so I can ask him to do it.
And speaking about Immortal, this will be announced obviously the week of the show, but one of the sponsors for that show Ryan, I think is a little podcast. I don't know if you've heard of the podcast.
Oh, Bob Culture will be there. All right, cool.
No, guys, we are going to be one of the sponsors for This Is Immortal. And we actually are going to be doing a little bit of giveaway that night. And Ryan, since it was your idea, I'll let you explain to the folks the lovely idea.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. So, for those that are Immortal Championship Wrestling fans or, just wrestling fans in general and are going to the event, if you haven't purchased your tickets yet, this is your opportunity to possibly get a pair of tickets for free. And I believe they're front row, I believe.
I have no idea where they are.
I don't know where they are, but regardless.
They're going to be in the venue.
What up?
They're going to be in the venue.
They're going to be in the venue. You're in the air conditioning. You'll be fine. The day of, we will be streaming live on the Immortal Championship Wrestling social media pages, Facebook page or whatnot. And we're only going to be picking one lucky person to play a little thing called Immortal Jeopardy, where yours truly, the announcer, will be asking one lucky individual 3 questions, and if they get all 3 of them correct, not 2 out of 3, all 3, then they will win a pair that night. Well, if they're waiting online, waiting on tickets, we're doing it on the fly, folks. If you already bought tickets, we're passing you. I'm being straightforward. If you already bought tickets, you're getting skipped. You can say hi in the live stream, but you're not gonna be entered in the contest. Sorry, being straightforward.
I'll be the cameraman, by the way.
So I'll make sure to get my good side. And not my legs, because I know you're a foot shorter than me.
Moving on.
But anyway, if you get all 3 questions correct, and it has to do with Immortal Championship Wrestling, it could be any random question out there. It could be any random question that comes on top of my head. If you guess them correctly, not only are you a true Immortal Championship Wrestling fan, but you will also receive a pair of tickets for that night's historic event.
And while we're doing announcements, and again, folks, we'll repeat these announcements at the end of the show. This Saturday, Titan Championship Wrestling presents American Spirit. And this is a major moment for this podcast.
I'm letting you go full screen on this one.
And this is something that I don't think I ever saw coming. Because anytime that this has ever happened, I've always been the one to make the flyer. But folks, this Saturday, come on, there we go. We will be doing the kickoff for American Spirit. As you can see right there, the lovely Around the World podcast picture. That's your information. So again, folks, hopefully when I'm there, hopefully you guys come and say hi. You can definitely watch me live. Basically, we'll be previewing the card, but it's a big honor because after everything that happened with the show, and Ryan, you can come back on.
I'm listening.
Okay. After everything that happened with the show, I didn't think a moment like this was ever going to happen. So I got to thank Billy Fetsky, Charles, and everybody over at Titan for this opportunity on Saturday. And this is a big stepping stone for a show that, I'll be straightforward right now. After everything that happened to us back in February, I thought the show was going to be done. I really thought the show was going to be on its last legs. But folks, that right there proves that we are not done. Nothing's going to kill us. So again, guys, happening this Saturday down in Toms River, New Jersey. We'll post all the information on our socials later on. The Around the Ropes podcast presents the kickoff show for Titan American Spirit. So, Ryan, what are your thoughts on that? Thanks. Actually, there's one other thing we should mention before we get back into the wrestling talk.
Yes, our organic crack, folks. As you can see, they're hippity hoppening on John's screen. Yes, folks, we are still selling our delicious coffee, courtesy of our friends at Motor Oil Coffee, where this is a natural, organic Sumatran blend, where John Blaine and myself have tried, and I'm not really a coffee drinker, but I tried it, and it is absolutely addicting.
Oh, yeah.
And again, folks, we are selling it for $20 a bag, I think. No, sorry, 15. I think it was like, anyway, no. Well, we'll figure out pricing.
10.
Went down to 10? Okay.
$10.
Well, 10 plus. If you're interested in buying a bit, okay, breaking news. It's our early Black Friday sale. We went down to $10 a bag now. And if you're interested in buying a bag or two or possibly a whole case, we have plenty of them. Make sure to shoot the Around the Rose podcast a DM and provide us with your address. That way we can give you the correct calculation for how much you owe for buying either 1, 2, 10, 12, a whole case of coffee. Who knows? Just send it to us.
Or if you want to buy all 5 cases, go right ahead.
All 4, because I still have mine.
But again, guys, like I said, that's what we have coming up for you guys, and we have more stuff coming up as well. We just don't have enough time to get into everything. But let's get down with the Blood and Guts, because we actually kind of a little switch up here tonight. Obviously, as you can tell, our first guest did not join us tonight.
Hope everything is okay.
Yep. Our second guest will be joining us in about 10 minutes or so.
We'll see.
Oh, no, he will be here. Trust me. He will be here. But yeah, so guys, like I said, stay tuned for our interview with Jay Outkast, Jerry the Intern, however you know him as he is set to have a massive match this Saturday against the one and only Kris Kage, as he continues his climb of proving to Titan and company why he deserves to be a Titan Championship wrestler. And obviously,
I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good. Just talking about that card quickly. I looked over the card beforehand. It's actually a pretty good card.
For what? American Spirit?
Yeah.
I mean, if people actually showed up to the shows, that'll be even better.
Actually, you know what? Let me see. I should be able to grab the card of it because it's been posted so many times today.
Well, you know what? Let's save that for a little bit later on.
And actually, and one other bit of breaking news, another friend of the show, Pete Rosado, has his company called We Are Wrestling. They're doing a show September 8th. They just announced their next match, another match for that show, and it'll be Lucas Chase taking on Jorge Santi.
Oh.
Mind you, it's also the same card that will see Darius Carter taking on WCW legend George South.
Oh, yes.
But
and also, I think Rob Killjoy is defending the title.
Yes, he is.
Who's he defending it against?
Give me a second on that one. How about this, Ryan? You talk about what you want to talk about. I'll take a look.
Okay. Well, since we're talking about wrestling and whatnot, next Saturday, yours truly will be back on the microphone after literally almost a month off. I kind of have taken. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna be a little straightforward right now. I've kind of taken a little step back from announcing in general because, to be fair, last year I did a whole slew of shows. I did like 52 events. And of course, it tires you out. It wears you out, wear and tear. Mentally, ugh. So this past year, I've been taking, more, little less bookings, but actually, a little less bookings. That's why I debuted for like Garden State Pro Wrestling, Deadlock Pro. But I've been kind of picking and choosing, just for my mental health and whatnot. And also, my shoot jobs have been fucking chaotic for the last, 6-7 months. And again, it just wears you out. So for those who are asking, did I hey, did Ryan actually retire from announcing? I haven't heard from him in a while. Don't worry, I'm still around. I'm just not as active as I used to be because regular life gets in the way.
I cannot find out who he was facing. So if anybody knows who he's facing, let us know, please.
But what do you think about what I had to say?
Hey, you've told me that before, and I completely commend you for that because at certain points, your mental health takes a bigger toll than anything. And when you're doing as many shows as you did last year, between that and work, which for about 3 months I kind of knew where you worked because I worked with you. I can tell how it was getting a little bit out of hand, and I think realistically, and like I said before, for your own mental health, I think you did the right move by not taking a step back, but taking more of a approach as far as more quantity over quality. Quality over quantity.
Yeah, I would say swap it.
My point is this.
I know your point is that.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing like with me, for example, where a couple months ago I was going to wrestling shows nonstop. And yeah, I got a few that are coming up, next couple of weeks. But I think I figured out between now and the beginning of September, I think I have maybe 4 shows I'm going to. Okay. Yeah, I think 4 shows. Titan, Win, Immortal, Hall of Fame. And that's all I have for the rest of the summer. Obviously, come the fall, it's going to be a little bit different because I know there's a few companies, especially there was one that was just announced over the weekend. Good friend of the show, Steve Off with Pro Wrestling Magic, announced that Vinny Pacifico is going to be taking on some Bobby Fish guy. Have you heard of him?
Some guy who acts like a fish out of water.
And all I know is that match could be very undisputed.
And who knows? Maybe he can make Vinny Pacifico go from Vinny Pacifico into a Red Dragon.
Wow. How long did it take me to think of that one?
30 seconds.
Jesus Christ. But again, guys, you also have, other than that, you also have 90s WrestleCon happening at the end of September. You have, at some point, I know you get a Brie Combination coming back with another show. I think their next show is sometime in October. I know ISPW has like 2 shows coming up between now and 90s WrestleCon, including their show they're doing the end of August down in Wildwood, New Jersey. Also, another one I want to mention quickly is Titan Championship Wrestling with Goddesses are heading down to North Kakalaki, North Carolina. I know I just said North Kakalaki, but it's me. As they're doing a whole tribute show to Andre the Giant. So folks, if you get the opportunity, I said this when we did our Indie Award show. I say this every week. If you get the opportunity to go to an independent wrestling show, what are you waiting for?
Well, besides those events, there are other wrestling events that are taking place in the tri-state area.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan. Including next weekend where there is a massive show that has a massive tournament going on. Wrestling Is Now as they present the Maximo Legacy Tag Team Title Tournament.
Hopefully the AC will be on.
Your lips to God's ears. And then the following day, Creative Pro Wrestling returns to Lynbrook, New York, in as they call it, the Battle of the Gays, apparently. As the dime piece Aaron Rourke takes on Effie. That match just sells itself right there.
Oh, yeah. You also have, I know in August, you also have Speedy Fest happening in upstate New York.
Have what?
I think it's Speedy Fest or some festival thing. But
I would say also on August 12th, if you're on Long Island and don't want to travel far, travel to Bayshore. Travel to Bayshore because Victory Pro Wrestling returns with the Gold Rush Rumble.
Yes, that looks. And guys, I mean, you hear from Ryan and myself every week. when you look at independent wrestling right now, I feel, and Ryan, tell me if I'm wrong on this, it's in the best state it's been in years.
I feel like there's not that many shows running as much as last year.
No. But the thing is, though, the shows that you are seeing.
Oh, sorry, a couple more show announcements because I've been following them and I thought I'd showcase them if it's okay.
Yeah, go right ahead.
August 19th, NYWC returns to the Sportatorium in Deer Park, New York with Hotter Than Hell, featuring the newly crowned tag team champions who will be participating in the Win Tag Team Title Tournament next week. The Slime Balls.
Yes.
And then September 15th, I think. 15th or 16th, Remarkable Wrestling returns with a massive card featuring the Motor City Machine Guns.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. August 18th in Queens, New York. Some company called House of Glory Wrestling is presenting their biggest summer blockbuster of the year, High Intensity 8. We're on this card. Holy shit. I just have to say 2 matches, and the matches are sold. There is a 6-way scramble match where 2 of the participants have already been announced. One of them is ECW legend Super Crazy. And another one that just got announced, I think, yesterday or today, is someone who is also on TV and apparently likes to go, oh, Isaiah Cassidy. And then the main event, which is going to make every fan go, oh, big time, for the House of Glory World Heavyweight Championship. The current champion himself, the Indie Taker, whatever you want to call him, the man who is basically dominating independent wrestling right now in Matt Cardona, alongside Steph DeLander, as he takes his first title defense against a Japanese legend, someone who isn't a B star, someone who isn't a C star or a D star, but he is the true ace of New Japan Pro Wrestling, Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Yeah.
And folks, if you want to sit front row for that one, well, you better cough up $150 for that one.
I was saying, is there any other independent show we didn't mention?
I'm thinking actually.
Mention another one. Jobber Slam 3 happening.
Oh yeah, Jobber Slam 3. Oh, and also, this Friday, Warriors of Wrestling is in Breezy Point.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah.
And then August 11th, Warriors of Wrestling is back in, I believe, in Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn. I'm not sure. And featured on the card is, the newly crowned Warriors of Wrestling No Limits champion, Tommy Dreamer.
Yes.
I know John's getting a little upset because, I'm talking about indie wrestling, which is something he really doesn't know as much.
Oh, no. Hey, I'm all for it.
Back to NYWC for a hot second. I want to give him a shout out because they're actually pulling a huge bullet right now in October.
Mm-hmm.
October 28th. They are presenting a massive card called The Space Between. Now, that sounds kind of familiar for someone Long Island, but for those that don't know, the reason why it's called The Space Between is because this event will not be taking place at their usual home in Deer Park, but it'll be taking place at The Space at Westbury,
my old hometown.
And also that night, it's the 2023 NYWC Hall of Fame induction ceremony. And appearing that night is the innovator of violence, Tommy Dreamer.
Also happening this Saturday. Also happened this Saturday, September 20.
July 22nd.
Yeah, July 22nd. I don't know why I just coughed on nothing. SWF returns to the Mecca for No Time to Die. It's the first time SWF is back in Ridgefield Park since the show that they did a couple of weeks ago, where owner and promoter Rob Fury had the medical.
A couple of weeks ago. It was a couple of months ago.
That was a couple of months ago already?
That was Memorial Day weekend.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It seems like it was a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah, WrestlePro. How the fuck can I forget about them? They got a couple of free events coming up. July 21st is Friday. They're in Newark. July 27th, it's another rendition of Shotgun Thursday Night in Union. They got a bunch of fair festivals coming up, and then they're back in Rahway. September 17th, Sunday, September 17th. Definitely get your tickets for that one, with a special start time of 5 p.m.
Is there any other companies? I'm just trying to make sure we don't forget about any companies.
Not wrestling wise, but I do want to give a shout out to those freaking empanadas. I just want to call them out.
Yes, Mike. Next time I'm in Jersey, I'm definitely going to get some from you.
I gotta hit him up too. Because also this past weekend in Jersey was the American Dream Food Truck Festival, which from what I heard was a disaster.
Yeah.
Logistically, but not for those freaking empanada boys and girls, because they sold a record over 3,000 empanadas that weekend.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Folks, if you've never had the empanadas from Mike, I'm sorry.
No. If you haven't tried those freaking empanadas, what the hell are you waiting for?
Definitely. I mean, crap, I lost 45 pounds already, and I'm at the point now that I'm like, Mike, I'll just take a dozen. You pick whatever ones you want to put in there.
Oh, they got plenty of different flavors. They got sweet and they got different varieties of sweet and savory ones from I think they had a cheesecake one, they had an Oreo one. They also had like an apple pie empanada per se. They also had, for the savory side, they had Cubanos. They had barbecue pulled pork, barbecue chicken, regular beef. Depending on the day, especially this one, his favorite, the nice footlongs.
It was good.
Yeah, folks, he really enjoyed that massive fried footlong in his mouth.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Hey, it's 2023, dude. I'm all for it. Folks, that was the big announcement. He had a massive, juicy, fried footlong in his mouth. Speaking of that, where is Jay Outkast?
Send help. Just send help at this point. But actually, Ron, I got a question for you while we're waiting for our guest to join us.
Yes.
When you hopped off before to find out the news from Alex, I was talking about Brian Cage and Lance Archer.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask you this question, and whoever's watching, I want to ask this question to them as well. Do you think when it comes to wrestling, does size matter?
No.
What do you... Go on.
No, I'm saying it doesn't matter.
Because I was saying it before with... I feel like with Brian Cage and with Lance Archer, they're two guys who I feel like should be at least in your main event picture, if not have held the world title at this point.
I agree.
But I think also realistically, you look at both of them. Let's call a spade here. You put either of them in WWE, they're getting shot right to the top.
I think the other issue is, and actually it's more so for Lance Archer.
Mm-hmm.
He travels to Japan a lot.
Yeah, but what about Brian?
Brian's more Ring of Honor.
Yeah. Just give me one second.
Brian is more Ring of Honor. I mean, for God's sakes, he's 1/3 of the 6-man tag team champions.
Yep, with the Gates of Agony.
That's the name.
Yep, with Khan and I forget the other guy's name, but Ryan, our guest has finally arrived.
Oh, finally!
So, would you please have the honor of introducing our guest?
Oh, you're gonna be sorry for this one.
Probably am.
No. I'll keep it respectful for him because at least you know. Anyway, folks, joining us at this time is someone who completely forgot that I am also a co-host of this podcast. But someone that I've known for a long time, even before he started wrestling. Actually, when he started wrestling, even before that, actually. But seeing him progress all these years and now becoming quite possibly a mainstay in such promotions as Greek Combination Wrestling and Titan Championship Wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, and John, please help me welcome Jay Outkast.
Wow. Thank you. It's funny because I've been keeping up with the live, and now you've been talking smack about me. So, but look, let's just start with this. Ryan, you've been one of my best friends. I can talk all the smack I want, but you've truly been someone I've loved and respected as a brother for years. I've known this guy for, I think, 2018, 2019, when we met over at Ace Pro Wrestling.
I think it was earlier than that, dude.
Yeah, and
I think when the arena first opened in Wallington, so that was almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, and you know what? It's been a huge honor. Like, I can't tell you enough how much you mean to me. There's a lot of stuff that's true about you. You truly are one of the best announcers out there. One of the greatest announcers to never get signed. In my opinion, I think you will get signed as well. And you know I'm big on putting people over. The only thing that there's been some stuff that's been told about Ryan that's not true. Like, for example, him being sexy. That sexy Ryan thing, bro. But yeah, I can't say enough good things about you. Like, humbly. John, that's the name. Listen, I've known you for a bit. You've been the shyest person I've met in wrestling, and I don't know why. Like, you got a fucking. I can curse on this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. You've been on this fucking podcast for God knows how long, and you're like the shyest person in the room. All right, like you're like a combination of Stan and Kenny and Butters, all in one person. And but listen, you've always been good to me. You've always been welcoming, and I can't thank you enough for that. This weight loss journey. Let's keep it real. This weight loss journey has been huge for you, and I know people that struggle with weight, myself included. But listen, I'll say this privately and I'll say this publicly, and Ryan, you can attest to this. I'm very serious about motivating and putting people over. Good job, seriously. It's not something that's easy to do, and to go from looking like Eric Cartman to now, it's a long process. So you should be proud of yourself for that. Seriously.
Thank you. Yeah, I started off this weight loss. I'll say it right now on air. It doesn't matter because I posted on Facebook before. I started. I was 338.
Wow.
I was a big boy, and now last I checked, I'm down now to 297.
Wow. That's
Which
huge.
with the possibility that this weekend, if I can find one that fits, I might be able to pull off wearing a medium shirt.
Oh, okay.
Which I have not been able to do that in a long time.
Listen, it's progress.
We do have another comment coming in from our good friend Billy, who chimes in here and says, Jay Outkast coming in with a positive. You gotta love this. And he's pretty damn accurate on the Jon and Ryan description. Keep crushing it, Jay.
Billy's something else. She's awesome. I mean, she puts way too many miles for someone that doesn't wrestle on her car.
Yeah.
But listen, for someone to drive that far, I think she's like what, Albany, New York, or something like that.
I think more Schenectady, I think, which is like another, but still, it's from, it's at least 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah, and it's 2.5, 3 hours. I've driven with someone to Canada, and when I would go to Canada, it's like I would always take Albany, as a pit stop before heading over to the border, and the driver got to Albany from Newark. Let's pretend Newark Airport.
Yeah.
Okay. From Newark Airport to Albany, like an hour and some change, and all I did was take a nap. I'm like, yo, what was that? So I know I'm ruining Jersey's reputation because us Jersey people like to speed, myself included. But yeah.
Just going back to the weight loss thing for a second, Jay. I don't know if you saw this picture. The
I saw
picture on
that.
the picture on the left was from December. The picture on the right was one of the shows we just did recently. And I show that picture to people now, and they look at me. They're like, how? A lot of people will turn around and ask me, because I've had it happen several times. They'll turn around to me and go, okay, so what's your secret? And I've said it before. It's 3 things. You have to have will, determination, and the right support group. And that's all it comes down to, is those 3 things. And honestly, anything is possible.
That's true.
Speaking about anything being possible, you got a big match coming up on Saturday.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. Where do I start with that? Because I've been grateful for the opportunities that I've been having. And it's no secret that Titan's an incredibly difficult company to get into. And I've struggled, man. For months. I got slapped like from John Lord, as if he was Will Smith and I was Chris Rock. To softening up some of the best. I got to hug it out with Wrecking Ball. You guys figure out what that means.
Mm-hmm.
I've had the privilege to get in the ring with Big Deal Craig Steele.
Oof.
Yeah.
The legend right there too.
Don't even get me started with him. I softened him up. He was like a Pillsbury Doughboy when he wrestled PJ. And for those of you that disagree, that's just to keep it that way. Just disagreement, you know. It's called mixed reviews. Then my opportunity to team up with Steve Monster Mac. I'm probably gonna get in a lot of trouble for this, but he's the nicest guy in the world. All right, but don't take him lightly. He will hurt you. All right. From that, when not to sidetrack a little bit, but that day, I earned my spot as a Titan. There was that was a birthday of someone that meant so much to me, and I think everybody knows who I mean by this. But this special person was like a mom. She was like a mom to me. She passed of breast cancer back in November of last year. Those of you guys that know my story kind of know what the deal is.
Oh yeah.
And that was her birthday. So for me to earn everybody's respect and have that match won against one of the best tag teams in the world in first class. All right, we can literally set an episode aside just talking about Eddie Santos and Sebastian Cage. I'm sorry, Joni Santos. My apologies. Joni Santos and Sebastian Cage, 2 of the best in the world as a tag team. That's huge. And to be able to earn that respect and do it in front of her, that was crazy.
That's priceless.
Oh yeah,
it is. Then I got in the ring with Nikolai White, and Forgive me for I'm having a brain fart right now. I'm turning into Jon right now. But the Dominican Daredevil, one of my favorite people from the Sanctuary, I was able to team with them against the Throne. And we all know how I feel about the Throne. We all know how I feel about Daniel Riley.
Mm-hmm.
And this man kicked me in the head, but I'm still here. But more importantly than that, I earned his respect. And to be able to earn Daniel Riley's respect is like winning the lottery. And it's like that for a lot of people. All right, respect is not something that's given. I think we all know that. Then everybody thought I got killed by Astro Morales. And we all know what he's about. He's a powerhouse. He's a Puerto Rican powerhouse at that. All right, it's and I've said this before and I'll say it again. It's Puerto Ricans like him that make Puerto Ricans like me believe that I can make it. And even though I took a pile driver that scared the boys in the back, those of you that don't know, think of it like an Owen Hart, Steve Austin type pile driver.
Oh boy!
Listen, I got back up, and I'm still here. But I earned his respect, which was, I can't tell you enough how priceless that is. But my matches keep getting bigger. All right, and Kris Kage is not someone to take lightly. We all know he's a part of First Class. He's someone that you don't want to piss off. He's someone that can go. And I saw his post about me. An amazing soul, great person, but he put me in a must-win situation, as all my matches are, because I got everything to prove. All right, he kind of let the cat out of the bag when he said I was PJ's boy. And it's true, I am PJ's boy, but just because I'm his boy doesn't mean that I expect anything to be handed to me. All right, I'm not some of these other guys. All right, and listen, if I'm breaking the fourth wall, fuck it, I'm breaking the fourth wall, but I've earned everything that I've gotten, and not everything that PJ has given to me has not been given. I've busted my ass to get to where I'm at, and Ryan can attest to this.
Yeah.
He's seen me wrestle for Ace. He's seen me at some of these other companies. He's seen me learning from him at Invictus from the sidelines. You guys know about some of my matches, but Kris Kage, my tests just keep getting bigger. All right, and it doesn't matter who Billy Fetsky puts in front of me. I didn't come into Titan to die. I didn't come into Titan to back off of anything. I didn't put in all this effort just to Reggie, he's a good kid. He used to work for me when I used to work in Staples before I became a professional wrestler.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but where was I? Oh yeah, my tests just keep getting bigger. All right, and Billy, he's one of the smartest people I know. He really does have a mind for the business, but just because he gave me that privilege to be a Titan, that doesn't mean I'm here to punk out. I'm not here to be a bitch. I'm not here to die. All right, and he's gonna keep throwing opponents at me, and I get that, but it's gonna take a lot more than these legends, veterans, however you want to call them, because I've been in the ring with some amazing wrestlers. Let's just keep it real. I'm not staying down. And Chris, I know how you are in the ring. You can go. Kris Kage can fucking go. And he's been in the ring with some great wrestlers himself. but I have everything to prove. Titan doesn't owe me anything. Professional wrestling does not owe me anything. I owe everything to professional wrestling, and I owe everything to Titan. And this is a must-win. Like I said, I can't stress this enough. This is a must-win situation for me. But I'm going to prove that I belong in the ring. I belong in Titan, and you bet your ass I'm earning his respect. And respect from Kris Kage is never given. That's something you got to work and bust your ass for.
Brian?
Wow, I just ranted.
No, you're good, man. You're good. No, so you mentioned that, you feel like Billy and the rest of the Titan management is going to throw matches your way, besides, Kris Kage. In your personal opinion, if you had to pick 2, maybe 3 potential dream one-on-one match scenarios with anyone in Titan or a legend that you want to wrestle in Titan, if Billy Fetsky, Charlie, or anyone or SP is watching this and they hear this, who do you have in mind that you would like to face one-on-one in Titan? Now I'm putting you on the spot.
That's a tough question. But one guy that I have to say I owe everything to, but I also need to prove that I can hang, is PJ Savage. We all know my history with him. We all know how much he means to me. But I gotta prove to him that I can hang. I gotta prove to him that he taught me enough as he and even though he continues to teach me. He is by far will be my biggest dream match. We're gonna main event WrestleMania. I don't care what anybody says. That's a fact. It's not an opinion. That's a fact. And I'm gonna do everything in my power.
Just make sure for that match is wear earplugs because you're gonna constantly hear him yell, "Savage, Savage, Savage, Savage,
yeah.
Savage, Savage."
Yeah. Savage is no joke. Savage is someone that he's about the people. He's a family man. He loves his family. He loves the fans. He loves the business. But he's my biggest test when it comes to stepping in the ring. But he's not the only guy that I want to step in the ring with. I've made it known that I want to step in the ring with Daniel Riley, one-on-one. He is so hungry for the business, and I'm not saying this because he's my boy, and I'm probably gonna get in trouble for this, but he is my boy. But he's been doing this for quite some time, and he hasn't even hit his prime yet, bro. Like that's crazy. All right. There's quite a few more that I have been thinking about. I think I owe a rematch. Well, although it was my first match in BCW, I truly believe that if I were to step in the ring with Mike Law one more time, he'll feel my improvements, but I think I can get him. I think I can get him. One more guy, okay, and then I'm gonna keep it at that. Jay Bougie.
Oh.
Yeah. I started writing with him. I've learned a lot from him. He's on a roll right now with the Summer of Bougie. But a match with him, with his style, his personality, with mine, I think we all know our history. All right? We all know where we've come from. and to be able to step in the ring with him, I can tell you if I can get in the ring with Jay Bougie, I know I can hang with him, and he's tested a lot of people. He's brought the best in a lot of people, and I know for a fact he'll bring out the best in me. But I can tell you in confidence, I can bring out the best in him.
You bring up Bougie, and I think just thinking about it now, thinking how you two are as characters, I think that match itself would get the biggest. You would probably get the biggest ovation because it's you. Because I think Bougie is that good of a heel, wherever it is, either in BCW or Titan or wherever, I think you would get the biggest ovation that night.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. But let's not knock Jay Bougie. He's a Gleason's guy. He's trained for Johnny Rods. He's trained for Johnny Rods, and he's done some amazing things. He wrestled Khan at the anniversary show at BCW. All right, he's doing some great things at SWF. He showed out. He showed up and showed out at MLW. All right, and he's just gonna keep going up.
And and not to brag, but he's also killing it as the social media champion for Invictus.
Oh yeah. That's
I know Alex loves him.
Oh yeah, him and Bougie are the best of friends. They're like peas in a pod.
Oh yeah. On days off, they go off into the woods somewhere and they both sing "Kumbaya" over a bonfire.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Alex and Bougie are like Bonnie and Clyde, where they just love each other.
Oh, absolutely.
And they hug it out. And they're like SpongeBob and Patrick.
But in all seriousness, Bougie is killing it as the social media. Just last month, he faced off against Billy Dixon in a stellar matchup.
Yeah, and I think we can go on and on with Bougie. He's had some amazing matches.
And same thing with Savage and Riley. Especially with Savage, you might be careful with him because you might be going through a door.
Listen, PJ Savage is not someone to take lightly. You've seen his work. I'm not sure if you've seen his match against Homicide.
I did.
All right. We know about his match against Shane Taylor. That wasn't easy.
And speaking of not easy, he has a match coming up at the next Titan show in August in North Carolina, taking on Colby Carino.
Yeah,
that's a big one. I think that's his ultimate test.
I think it's common knowledge that he was going to go to North Carolina. All right, I'm not saying this because he's my boy, but there's no Titan without PJ Savage.
And especially he has a big match Saturday in a grudge match against Joe Outkast.
Oh yeah, I saw their promos. It's gonna be a great match.
Yeah,
you are in for a treat, John.
Oh, I can't wait. I seriously can't wait. It'll be nice to finally be back at a Titan show. But I would say, as far as PJ's promo, you can have the volume off and you can still hear him yell.
Oh yeah, it's crazy because I was talking to some friends that are not in the business about PJ. All right, and they've seen his work, they've seen his matches, and it's one of those cases where it's like when PJ Savage gets booked with someone, they're like, "Fuck, PJ's gonna cut a promo." And PJ is notorious for having some of the best promos ever. Like, he has some promos that I watched from like a year ago. I'm like, wow, what the?
Yeah.
I think the best way to say it with PJ is with the promo itself, he gets you emotionally invested from a storyline perspective.
Oh yeah. And mind you, I'm a Puerto Rican guy from Newark, so I'm used to watching novelas. Okay, and you know, for those of you that call me soft because I watch novelas, first of all, fuck you, because I love novelas. I used to watch my novelas with my mom, so I know what it's like to get emotionally invested. But PJ's been the measuring stick to a lot of people when it comes to wrestling, when it comes to promos, when it comes to all that. And I understand that there's more experienced wrestlers than he is. I understand that there's wrestlers that are at a higher level than he is. But we forget that this is his life. We forget that he's passionate about this. So he's going to treat this like this is WrestleMania, no matter where he's at.
And I think with somebody like PJ, you said it perfectly. It doesn't matter who he's in the ring with. Not only is he going to elevate the other competitor, but he's going to make the match that you're going to want to sit there and say, okay, you may not recognize anybody else on the card, but you see PJ's name on the card. It's like, okay, I'm going. It can be, you can have a match where it's me versus Ryan. And yet PJ, okay, it wouldn't be a 5-star match. More likely probably be a half star.
No, minus 5 stars.
Listen, I'm still waiting for Ryan to take a bump.
He's been saying that for years.
Oh yeah, every show that I've been in with Ryan, the first thing I do is Ryan take a bump. And what's your OnlyFans?
And and again, folks, for my OnlyFans, for only $69 a month, you get exclusive content.
Yeah, very exclusive. Ring announcing your name.
Exactly.
And this is breaking news now, apparently.
No,
listen, Ryan's been doing breaking news pretty much this entire episode, so
pretty much.
Well, no, let me rephrase that. That was the biggest breaking news.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we got another comment coming in, Ryan, in regards to you taking a bump.
Oh God.
Promotions that are watching this, please book her. She is a great camera person, great photographer. She's taking some of my promo pics. Awesome.
She's and all in all, she's an amazing person inside and out. I've known her for a long time. Okay, a little backstory. I actually met her when Titan first came back. I think it was in Ocean Gate at the when they did the freaking like when they did the park in Ocean Gate.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was 3 years ago, I think it was. When they did the drive-in stuff. Because COVID. Apparently they want everything to be outside.
Yeah.
But all in all, like, I've seen her take like even like candid shots of me in the ring, and god damn, she's good. I think in my opinion, like one of the best photographers I've ever dealt with in wrestling. And I deal with a lot of them.
The second person that I have to mention, and she's got so much potential in this business. Again, I might get in trouble for this, but Cassidy Kelly.
Yes.
She started out coming to shows as a fan, and now she's going to, in 5 years, she's going to be a fucking killer as a videographer.
Well, I think also with the photography, I think Nettie is teaching her. I think also.
she doesn't know how lucky she is with Nettie, right? But Cassidy's not someone to take lightly either. Like she knows her stuff.
Oh
Like
yeah.
she got her camera. She's been all over the place. She's been at Win. She's been at Titan. All right. She's had some success in New York too.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just growing. So
let me get some more comments coming in here. She really appreciates it. And apparently
we made Nettie cry.
And another
she's an emotional person. She's awesome. Don't piss her off because that's when her best work as a photographer comes out.
Oh yes.
Yeah, but yeah, she's great. She's great.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of us like. Here's the thing. I've been grateful to meet some great people in the business, and we all know there's ups and downs in the business, and there's times where people feel like it's falling apart. Some people may feel that way, but if we can just put a little bit of it back together and just mention the good in wrestling, like from as far as like the fans or the connection we get to this podcast, like we can go all over. Like if we can bring the good in that, then it's a start.
Jay, that's all we push for with this show, is we just push to bring out the positivity and to show that, yes, we're a wrestling podcast, and, you have 900 wrestling podcasts that talk WWE, that talk AEW and anything like that. But not many of them will dive so much into the indies like we do. And I remember when we first started this, especially when we brought Ryan on last May, one of the things I thought of was, okay, we got to go more into the indies, because I feel like the indies weren't getting a lot of attention on the podcasting world. And there are people who watch me when I do my hype videos and I talk about certain shows, and they'll send me a message and go, hey, can I get tickets to that show? Sounds like fun. And that's all we try to do. We all, especially with and Ryan, I'm about to put you over here for a second. Having Ryan on board with the show has helped out a lot, because it's given us that moment where we can kind of stand out a little bit. Because all I have to say to wrestlers, doesn't matter if it's Titan, if it's Brie, whatever, is I just mentioned his name. And they all turn around and go, okay, we'll be on.
Thing is, Ryan has the mind for the business. Like, he's been around. He's been around the block many times over, and you've been 10 years in the business now?
Actually, next month will be 11.
Next month will be 11 years in the business. And you've done a lot. Like any company, any podcast.
Even when the pandemic happened, I didn't stop. I almost did, but I didn't.
Anything is extremely lucky to have you. There's some amazing announcers out in the business right now, but you're just one of a kind. Again,
I appreciate that, Jerry. I really do.
Again, just so you guys know, and everybody's watching, like, this Outkast thing is not a gimmick. All right, like everybody knows I'm different from everybody else. Everybody knows what I'm about. Everybody knows what I'm in for. All right, so part of being an outcast is not doing the same thing everybody else does, not saying the same thing everybody else does. Like, part of me being an outcast is this. Like, if I have an opportunity to put somebody over, I will put somebody over. And Ryan, you know me. Like, I will not put you over because you're my boy. Like, I like to think I have a mind for the business. I have a deep appreciation for what I'm in. And you know, I don't
Also,
say these
you've learned
things.
from the best. You learned from Savage. Hell, you've learned from Mike Morgan.
So when I first started in this business, I started in Bogota, New Jersey, at a show with Mike Morgan. And the first thing I said to him, just let me help. Just let me learn. Let me help out. Let me do whatever. This was back in 2018, long before I started training.
Oh God, 20. Yeah, I remember those. I remember those shows.
It was the summer of 2018. I was there, and I had some people come with me. My parents came with me, and that was it. And he guided me in the right direction. I kind of carved my own path. We all know how grateful I've been. I've been with some of the best. I've trained underground. Some of you guys know what I mean by that when I train underground. And took some time off. I've learned from some amazing people while training underground, and now I'm starting to learn from the SAT. And we all know who they're about. All right. I remember you mentioning their show that they got on July 29th, I believe it is, at Richfield Park.
Next Saturday.
These guys are one of the best tag teams out there.
There's a reason why called the fathers of the style of today.
Yeah, that's not a gimmick. That's legit. All right, and coincidentally, PJ Savage is the only singles match on the card.
That's fine. That's totally fine with me.
So,
but he's facing off against someone who's quite basically on the same level as him in Joey Conway.
Oh yeah. I hate that guy. Because he beat PJ. But yeah, that's gonna be a great match. All right, and if I can just touch on that.
Great too. The tag tournament, dude.
Oh my God, we are in for a treat. For anybody and everybody that can make it to the show, once you're there, you realize you're in for a treat.
And the Maximos hand selected these 8 tag teams. You got the Audacity, Miracle Generation. I forgot their team name, but it's Dylan McKay and Marcus Mathers. The new back seats, the Slime Balls, DMD. It's like, what the hell? These are like the who's who of basically the East Coast tag team wrestling at this time.
Yeah, and I completely agree. And Jay, I don't know if you remember actually the first time you and I met.
You and me?
Yeah.
You know, I try to remember when you and I met, but all of a sudden we've gotten close to the point where this happened.
Okay, I'll remind you because I remember it vividly. It was Ace Pro Wrestling. It was the Ryan. Was it the Fans Bring Weapons, or was the one right before that?
I think it was the Halloween show.
Halloween show, yes.
Back in 2022, 2021 was it? Right?
No, 2022.
The one where it was Vince Steele and Alvin Alvarez.
Oh.
And the funny thing is, I remember walking in there, and obviously we were with Carl at the time. And I remember you had come up to me, and you had watched the show beforehand, but you didn't realize that it was me and him and Carl at the time.
Oh, I had no clue.
Yeah, but that was the first time you and I met.
Listen, I'm a fan of the Around the Roads podcast. All right, I'm a fan of your success. All right, you guys had some ups and downs, but we all have ups and downs.
Yeah.
All right, listen, we're gonna have ups and downs. Things happen. I get it. All right, there's certain things that we may not have control over, and I get that. I'm very vague, and I try to be positive about everything.
No, I completely agree. But the thing is, no, go ahead.
All I really want to say is, look, if we can all be at peace with whatever decision we make, I don't care what the situation is, then if we can be at peace, then we're good.
I'll say this much, and I've happened to have been at a couple of your matches. I was at your first match at BCW.
That was huge. That was a big deal.
I remember the other match that you had was at the Courage and Power show back in March.
Oh. Yeah, that was
yeah. Because I was there.
Let's just say I was high that night. And no, I wasn't smoking.
Yeah, all I remember with that one was I think you had stayed down till the second match was done. And then it was about to be intermission. And then all of a sudden you finally stood up. I'm like, oh, there's Jay right over there. But I remember that. But no,
yeah, I was high because of Vince Harris. And all you potheads watching, no, I was not smoking. Let's just say I thought I could touch the sky that night.
Yeah. So, I remember sitting in front row and when they announced that it was going to be you versus Vince, I just saw the look in your face and you're like, oh shit, what did I just walk into?
Yeah. That was one of those where if Henny Wrestling was there, shout out to Henny Wrestling, that is my tribal chief. If Henny Wrestling was there recording, it's one of those cases where he would be like, it was at that moment where he knew he fucked up. It was at that moment where I knew I fucked up.
Oh, shout out to Henny Wrestling, great guy.
God, he is. I'm not gonna get into him because I can talk for hours about him.
And also another shout out. You may know this person also, Jay, the Figure King.
Love that guy.
That guy's fucking awesome. If he's watching this, dude, we love you. Also, GG for the win. I'm throwing out the fucking names right now. Which I will see in the Bronx on August 4th.
Wait, Figure King's gonna be there?
I don't know about Fit, maybe, but I know GG might be.
We're just surrounded by good people.
Which actually, by the way, Mr. Outkast, will you be in attendance on August 4th?
I will make it a priority to be there.
Well, I don't know if you heard my announcement of who's going to be there.
Yes, I saw. I saw it live, actually, and that's part of the reason why I'm going to make it a priority to be there.
All I got to say is, holy shit, they are pulling the massive bullet on this one.
Yeah, that's a holy shit moment. And if we could just touch on Invictus real quick, Invictus is doing great things. All right. Alex is just awesome. All right. Again, he has that bromance with Jay Bougie right now, but that's.
But no, Invictus, I've been there since day one, and Invictus I've seen them grown from I always keep saying this, from the Hodunk paintball farms in the middle of nowhere, Flemington, New Jersey, all the way up to where it is today. They've progressed a lot.
Sorry to interrupt the Invictus talk for a second, but we have some breaking news coming in from the world of NXT.
More breaking news? It's like breaking news every 5 minutes.
No, we have a new North American champion.
What?
I'm not kidding you. And folks, if you did not see this, I apologize. If you want to pause this and watch NXT, I just saw this. Wes Lee has been defeated by Dominic Mysterio.
Are you kidding me?
Why?
I just saw the thing right now.
Wow.
Yes. And folks, so just so you can tell, I'm not making this up. Hold on. No, you can see that. But yeah.
Holy shit.
He is your new
Wow.
North American champion.
Wait, is your screen cracked?
What happened?
Is your screen cracked? Because I thought I heard your screen cracked.
No, because I got the microphone here, so it was jumping back and forth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just asking.
No, you're good. You're good. I got to also get the stuff ready when I come down on Saturday.
Oh, by the way, speaking of Saturday, I've been grateful to have the opportunity to finally have some shirts to be made. Oh, by the way, backtrack. Breaking news. I've been grateful to have an opportunity to have some shirts to be made. I got a shout out to one of my college buddies, Nick Thompson. He's nothing to do with the business, but I've known him for just about 10 years now, and he's been one of my biggest supporters. So hopefully he will be there on Saturday to watch me earn Kris Kage's respect. But yeah, I will have some shirts available on Saturday.
I will definitely be buying one.
And I bet you're buying a large, right?
More than likely.
More than likely.
More than likely.
Cool.
I mean, it's just the last thing I'll bring about the weight loss. A couple of days ago, I had to go clothing shopping.
Really?
And the only had to go, and the only clothing they had in stock was 3 and 4X clothing.
Oh wow.
I'm like, yeah, I don't need to touch that anymore.
You know what's funny? I think it was sometime last year. I was in the process of losing weight, and it was I was going well, but then I turned around and I found it. So, there it goes. Yeah. Brian's just looking at me like, Jerry, that was not funny. Stop. It was funny.
Okay, hold on. I do got to read one comment here. One specific comment. John's gonna be wearing a small soon. Richie, if I ever wear a small, it's got to fit perfectly.
Yeah.
But what am I kidding? The way I'm going right now with this weight loss, anything is possible.
And not to hop on the bandwagon, but Jerry, you've known me for a long time. You remember how freaking huge I was?
Yeah, you were Gabriel Iglesias.
Pretty much.
Well, I'm not to poke fun at you, but I used to call you Eric Cartman just for fun, and just so you know, it was all in good fun. I was.
I know. Oh, I know.
Yeah.
That's why they call me Gringo Gabriel.
Also, another request.
Put an Excel aside for me, Jay.
Of course. Still.
Wait, is she gonna be at the show?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Watch her respond in like 2 seconds with a yes or no.
Oh yeah, more than likely.
Yeah.
More than likely, but yeah, I think she'll be there.
Wait, I got a question, and I don't know how you feel about this, but Ryan, when are you gonna come to Titan Championship Wrestling?
When I have a free night. Dude, I've been so busy and whatnot with my regular life, and also sometimes that Titan is running, I'm already booked on another event. Because I did work with Titan for a while, but I haven't been there in a couple of years.
So Titan has some big things going on.
I know they do.
As you guys know, we're going to North Carolina. They got some surprises in the books. All right, I know. I'm looking forward to Mount Olympus. It's like the Royal Rumble. All right, and I take Titan very seriously. I take every company I work for very seriously, but Titan has a special place in my heart, mainly because they've made me work for my opportunity, and everybody's seen me grow and learn as I progressed. But every time, like even in my shoot job, like everybody, like I'll cut a promo and they're like, "Oh yeah, there goes Jerry cutting a promo." And then when I don't, some time goes by and I don't cut a promo. They're like, "Jerry, are you okay? Like, Jay, are you okay? Like, why haven't you cut a promo? Like, relax. Like, you want me to cut a promo on you? Like, so."
Boy, the comments are coming in right now. I'm getting like notifications on my end.
Yeah, I'm looking at them right now. I'll go through them quickly here. Billy Fetsky could do. I completely agree. Ryan should be invited to North Carolina.
Unfortunately, Richie, I'm actually booked at another event. No surprise there. Immortal Championship Wrestling up in Utica for their pay-per-view debut.
Wow, yeah, you mentioned that earlier in the episode. That's a big deal.
And I've known Mike for a long time. He reached out. He reached out to me. I think it was actually he reached out to me the day of his last show last week, and said, "Hey, you available August 12th?" I'm like, "Yes, I am," but at the same time, focus on today, dude.
Oh, and I'll say this again. Obviously, we talked about that show last time. I was up at that show. It was a fun show. But the biggest thing I'm looking forward to on August 12th, and Billy, if you're watching this, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about here momentarily. They're going to have AC.
The show that Immortal did last week was at a barn with 600 people.
Guys, I apologize. I was looking into the comments. Could we just backtrack? What were you saying? I'm sorry.
No. John said the one good thing about August 12th in Utica, the building will have air conditioning because the show they did last week for Immortal was at a barn in Cobleskill with 600 people and no AC.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely fun.
And it's hot out.
Oh, yeah. You got 600. You got 600.
People,
yeah, but that's what I'm looking forward to. But, oh, boy. Oh, that felt good.
Why are you cracking your body like you're about to get in a match?
Because I'm actually going to do something I didn't think I'd be doing. And after this, I have a phone call to make about a possible new podcast joining this network. And then I'm getting my ass to the gym.
Oh, okay. you know something? You be posting that stuff and you don't understand how important that is to be posting that. Like, people see that and people appreciate that.
Oh, I know. Trust me, I know.
All right. So you know, just wanted to keep that positivity going. Like, seriously.
Oh, I know. Trust me. And it's because of people. It's because of people I'm friends with on Facebook. Is the reason why I have little goals set in mind to get to my ultimate goal of being down to 200 pounds.
Yeah, pretty soon you're gonna be a phone number, area code 201.
Hey, if I can get that far, that'd be great. But no, I have little goals in mind about little things I want to accomplish as I'm on this journey, and it's the drive in me. I mean, if this was me a year ago, at this point, I would say, "Oh, okay, it's 10:20. I'm gonna go to bed, call it a night." No, I'm like, no, I'm up. I want to get into the gym. Yeah, I'm not gonna go, balls to the wall. I'm not going that insane. But at least if I get a half hour on the treadmill, I'm good.
So I've been fortunate. I'm looking at some of the comments of the podcast, and I've tried to promote it because thankfully you guys are live. But I shout out to David John Reynolds from the UK.
Yep.
First of all, shout out to everybody. I really appreciate the love. I really appreciate the support that I'm getting. But David John Reynolds from the UK. Yes, I do have some matches. I will personally contact you and send them your way. All right. And if anybody wants to see some of my matches, please feel free to contact me. I'm more than willing to show you. Obviously, they're probably some of my earlier matches, so it's not going to be 6 stars. But at some point, I'll make them 5 stars. Just give me a little time.
But Jay, last thing I'm going to say is this. Especially with your in-ring stuff. Like I said, I was there for your first match when you at Bray. I think the position you're putting yourself in as being the babyface is going to set you up for something big down the road. And what I mean by that is this. By this time next year, I won't be surprised if we're calling you champion in some promotion. And I say that wholeheartedly. And honestly, I hope to be there live to see that.
So the plan is for me to be champion. and I'm not saying any promotion has a plan for me to be champion, but that's my personal plan.
Mhm.
I mentioned earlier that I've had some amazing opportunities from being in Titan. I've had an opportunity to be at the pre-show at Chosen Pro Wrestling. The fact that I was in Chosen meant everything. In Hoboken, and Hoboken's known for some bar hopping.
Mhm.
All right, but again, I expect to earn every spot, everything, every opportunity that I'm getting. And I apologize for getting emotional, but this professional wrestling thing is not something I take lightly. This Outkast gimmick is not a gimmick. It's really me to the max, where I love and I need wrestling. Wrestling does not owe me anything. I have everything to prove, and becoming champion is something that I feel I need to be. I understand that I may get to a point where I may not need a championship to get over, but to represent a company or a few and just shine and be that inspiration to a lot of people, because I've been grateful to have fans that really look up to me because of what I believe in, because of my love for wrestling. To your point, it's not that we will be surprised. It's not that we will be joyed. It's my personal expectation to be champion, and the plan is to be champion and to elevate any spot that I'm in to the next level.
But I completely agree with what you said. But like I said, whenever that happens, either being Titan or Brie or whatever, I hope personally for myself to be there live to see it in action.
I appreciate that.
I was there for your first match when you took on Colossal Mike Law. I figure for a moment like that, I wouldn't miss it for anything.
No, thank you. You know something? You weren't the only one that was there for my match against Mike Law. I gotta give a shout out to Skills the Great, who's part of the SAT. Skills the Great has been someone I've known for a while. He's loved this business so much, and he's part of the SAT. He's part of that win promotion, and to be able to wrestle in front of him, to see where I'm at then to where I'm at now, that was a big deal. All right, like I wasn't a lot of pressure that day, and that was right before Maine at an anniversary show. So that was huge.
Yeah, and like I remember that whole show vividly. And being there to see your first match, it was probably one of the biggest moments as a fan that I can ever say that I was a part of.
No, thank you. And people forget, like it wasn't my first match ever. Like I've had some matches, but my matches just keep getting bigger, and the pressure just keeps getting higher. And the more time that goes by, the more I have to prove, not just to myself, but everybody watching. Because expectations for me are high.
Yeah.
And if I fail, it's on me. Like if I don't do well in these matches, it's on me. If I don't connect with the fans, that's on me. So I'm pressured to perform at the highest level every time. And I don't just owe it to myself, but I owe it to my opponents. I owe it to everybody watching. Like this, like I can say this again. I can say this as many times as I want, but we all know where I'm going with this.
Of course. But folks, this guy right here, I said it since day one. This guy right here is the future, the next generation of up and coming talent to watch out for.
And I'll add on to that, Jay. You know damn well you got a podcast backing you up big time.
I do appreciate that. And you guys are a known podcast, a respected podcast. So I thank you guys.
You know damn well we will support you any way we can. And believe me, like I said, I couldn't be prouder of what you've accomplished. And like I said, by this time next year, I think we're talking championship belt for you.
That's the expectation for myself. I expect nothing less for myself.
Oh no, I totally agree. Ryan, do you have any other questions for Jay before we
I'm good actually.
Jay, we can have you on for hours, and we'll definitely gonna have you on again. Trust me.
I appreciate that.
You know you always have an open door with the show. Anytime, even if you don't want to come on to promote something, you want to just come on to hang out, you know you're always welcome to.
No, thank you. We're still live, right?
Yeah, we're still live.
Okay. Jon, fuck you for spoiling the NXT Championship match.
Wow.
I love you. You're a great dude. You are a piece of shit for spoiling that match. All right. You know, some of us don't have cable. All right. Some of us still rely on waiting till 9 p.m. to get free minutes on our phone. But Ryan, I know there's rumors about you that are not true. Well, the only rumor is you being sexy.
Well, yeah.
Hence sexy,
no
right?
Rumor. That's not a rumor. That's a fact.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. But look, all jokes aside, you guys know how much this means to me, and I appreciate you both having me. I remember the first time I was here, I was with Jon. That was a cool experience. And Ryan, you know how much of a fan I am of you. You have not been close for so long; it feels like forever.
Literally, it has.
And to be in the same podcast with Jon and you, that's awesome. I really thank you both for that.
I know, the pleasure is all ours. And Jay, you know damn well, you always have an open door with this show.
Thank you. I don't want to make this too much about me, but But American Spirit this Saturday. All right. I myself will be there wrestling Kris Kage. All right. TJ Marconi has a mystery opponent. All right. My boy PJ Savage against Joe Ocasio. Can go on and on. It's going to be at the Manchester Little League Club. Pre-sales are still on. I will, if you guys go to my Facebook, my Instagram, you'll find information there. Billy Fetsky's always posting. Charlie with Arizona Green Tea. He's going to be posting as well. You guys are going to see it all over the place. If you guys want to buy tickets, please feel free to contact me. Please feel free to contact anybody that's promoting the show. All right. The SAT show, the Win show, that's going to be huge. All right. I brought Ryan and Jon touched on that. I will make it a point to be at the Invictus show. We're outside. Keep in mind, I'm going to support because just because I'm a wrestler, just because I'm not on the show doesn't mean I can't support.
Exactly.
All right. And I mean this in the most positive way possible. I will be in North Carolina. Not sure what I'm doing, but you bet your ass I'm going to be earning myself. I'm going to be earning my spots there.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. But I think Jon said it best. Support independent wrestling. It's not just what we see on TV. We put our lives and our bodies on the line for the sake of the fans, despite which side of the coin we're on. And Jon and Ryan are doing an amazing job, helping us, promoting themselves. Yeah, I think I'm done ranting. Forget we're alive.
All I'm going to say is this, Jay. I appreciate everything you said tonight. It means a lot. And like I said this before, and I'll say this 100 times. I'll say this to you again on Saturday. I couldn't be more proud of you.
That means a lot coming from you. It really does.
I could not be more proud of you. But I got nothing else. Jay, I think we've kind of covered every indie promotion in the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Long Island area.
Sorry, I just remembered one more that's actually happening this Sunday in Jersey, and this one's a big one. It's happening in Asbury Park, New Jersey. Prestige.
Ooh.
Where the main event is Kevin Blackwood versus Malachi Black.
I think I saw that. That's huge.
Yep. That's taking place at the House of Independence in Asbury Park.
And
Wow.
just mention one more time, if you're interested in our coffee, you can definitely buy it. It's $10 a bag. Hold on. That's the company that made it, Motor Oil Coffee. They're based up in Albany, Troy, and Schenectady. It's
The capital region, as they call it.
the capital region. It's an organic Sumatra blend. Ryan has had it. I've had it. And you don't need sugar with this. That's what makes it
Smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys put in that, but I gave it to my parents and they loved it. And they don't drink coffee.
Tradition never reveals its secret.
Here's the thing, and for those of you guys that are Puerto Rican or Hispanic, we don't drink coffee. We drink café. All right. So for people to enjoy that, that's buy that coffee.
That's it.
I think you guys sell individual cups in Ridgefield Park from time to time. Is that true?
Yes, we do.
We do.
Yeah. So I think like $2 a cup?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
We're probably going to have next week at the Wind Show, we'll have more.
Right. So, if you guys are beer drinkers or alcohol drinkers, go for it. Like, it's cool. But that coffee, like, it's only $2.
And it's smooth. It's not strong.
Yeah,
Like it won't make you feel jittery. How does that sound?
And also, the last thing I'll say about it, you can have it both hot and cold.
Really?
Yeah.
You can have this iced coffee too.
He tried it as an iced coffee.
And Jay, you know how a lot of times you drink iced coffee, especially if it's not true iced coffee, how a lot of times you end up watering down the coffee?
Yeah.
Not with this. With this one, it still stays the same consistency.
It's funny because I see people drink Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee. I see people go crazy with Starbucks iced coffee.
That's child's play compared to this coffee. I'm just calling a spade a spade.
Listen, I've had Starbucks before, and it's the dragon fruit iced drink. And I'm gonna get some heat for this, but that's a really good drink. All right.
What's that called? A refresher or something like that?
Yeah, I think it's a refresher. I think it's like $5-6.
I always get the my go-to drink is the strawberry acai refresher. That one's good too. That's the only other drink in there.
It sounds like a wrestling move.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, remember, I'm all about putting people over, but like if I want something good, if I want something cold, I'd rather listen to Nikolai White and just drink some water. Coincidentally, I got some water here, but
it's funny. My choice of drink with Starbucks is actually not one of the refreshers. It's their iced tea that they have. It's the iced tea lemonade combo.
Oh, I'm a tea guy.
Oh yeah,
I love tea.
Give me
I
that.
don't drink coffee.
Give me that in a Trente cup. I'm good.
All right, so I don't know what you just said, but yeah,
The big cup. The big cup.
Great.
I was using the proper Starbucks vernacular.
Listen, going to Starbucks is like trying to learn the terminology for Starbucks is like going back to college and learning a new a new subject.
But we can sit here for hours. But we're gonna wrap this up now. But Jay, we're not kicking you off yet. Trust me. But guys, we appreciate everybody who watched us tonight. It means a lot. Obviously, you can catch myself this Saturday at Titan Championship Wrestling, American Spirit, doing the kickoff show. Check out all of our socials for the start time for that. Again, we'll be back next week live with another live Around the Ropes podcast episode. Again, hit the subscribe button if you watch us on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook for all your latest wrestling news and updates on future interviews, future specials, this, that, and another thing. But for Jay and Ryan, I'm John. This has been Around the Ropes podcast episode. We'll catch you guys next time.